that I think, and Greg Lally, he remembered it. So it was my very first film. Simply, what was it? It was a film about the cracks in the Berlin Wall. So it's actually it's important, if I may say it historically, because it's a film right before the wall comes down. And so I visit Czechoslovakia, because it still was Czechoslovakia. I visit Czechoslovakia, Poland, and Hungary. And I'm kind of the wandering minstrel. I have my violin and connect to different people, Jews and non-Jews, through music, and talk to them like, hey, why is there this resurgence? This is the late 80s. Why is there a resurgence of Jewish culture here? I'm curious. And I'd ask Jews and I asked non-Jews, and that's the film. And in that film, it's the first time on camera was a man named Leopold Kozlowski, who became then known as The Last Klezmer. And that became film number 2, and some of you I'm sure have seen that. And he passed away in 2018, lived to be a beautiful age of a little over 100. But both those films, but actually before, when I was traveling in the early 80s, so actually the first time I ever took my fiddle and I bought a one-way ticket, didn't know when I thought I was going to go for a couple months and ended up staying over a year. Traveling in these areas, literally sleeping in floors and playing for dinners. You know, a guy would say at a village, say, hey, let me hear you play something. I play, good, you can stay in the back, there's a shower, you got your sleeping bag, and I'll give you dinner if you play for 3 hours every night. I said, no problem, you know. So I went from village to town, and that is my encounter with the Roma, speaking with Roma, and learning more about their history, and seeing this really interesting symbiotic relationship between them and the Jews, just people to people, having nothing to do with the music. But then I went deeper and seeing how the musicians had this relationship. And yes, were the Jews who were anti-Roma because of their dark skin, or because they thought they were fortune tellers, or they thought they were thieves, and whatever. Yes. Were there Roma who were anti-Jewish because, maybe because they had believed what their priest was saying in the church about them killing their God, or that they are tight with their money, or they charge too much because I have to pay rent to the Jewish landlord. Yes, stereotypes, they exist, and as the Roma and the Jews, as we can see, Zev didn't walk on water very well, so no one walks on water. But among musicians, and if any of you are a professional musician, you know this, among musicians, your language is music. You don't care about the color of the skin, the hairdo, your age, your religion. If you are the same as me, you're Jewish, we went to Hebrew school, we love each other, you ate at my house, I'm the violinist and you're the bassist, and you play for, and I won't say SH blank T, you can't hold rhythm, dude, I love you, you're my brother, but you're not in the band. We'll play, for fun, right? Because you got to be a great musician. So the language was music. So the Roma and the Jews saw that, musicians saw that bond. And I learned it slowly, and of course you can see it. And I'm playing with these guys. I learned their tunes, they learned my tunes. And that really, I will say this for certain, if I did not play the violin, and actually specifically the violin, which is the Jewish instrument, it was once known, and the Roma claimed it was the Roma instrument, the Romani instrument. If I had not played the violin at the level that I could, and did not know the repertoire that I did, this film would never have been made. It would have been a very average film. The music was what drew people out and created scenes, and I knew that, but I'm a director. I'm not pretending I wasn't trying to create scenes. Sure I was. But, so the music is a very important part, and it still is today. And I will tell you, there's many, I'm not talking about one or two. I document this. I have books that I've published. Tunes that I learned that were lost that I only learned from Roma. Because, in fact, we're going to play something in a moment with my beautiful wife and talk about that. So it's a very interesting combination. And also the discrimination, right? They said, yes, look how he meets the street cleaner. You know what really hit me, and it made me kind of cry during the film, was I just realized the level of poverty. Oh my God. I'm there in the middle, it's fun. Yes, I may have